A lot of you have been asking me this question, and I've been struggling to come up with a satisfying answer for it because I love the ending where we don't know what happens to Lucy Gray. I think it's the most just ending for her character, and I think it's the one that will haunt Snow the most. And if we're the collateral damage for the haunting of Snow, then we're the collateral damage. That being said, I do have an answer. Most of us know this by now, but for those who don't, Lucy Gray got her name from a William Wordsworth poem. And that poem was titled The Ballad of Lucy Gray. And it tells the story of a girl who goes to fetch her mother and gets lost in the snow. And many historians have theorized that this is based on the true story of a girl that Wordsworth knew about who did get lost in the snow, except her body was found a few days later. And so if we're going just based on the poem and the original source material of the poem, then Lucy Gray did die in those woods. But what a lot of people don't know is that William Wordsworth didn't just have one Lucy Gray poem. He had a collection of Lucy poems. And there's a lot of literary debate within the poetry community as to whether these poems are connected and whether they're all about the same Lucy. That being said, the Lucy Gray poem is often not counted within the other Lucy poems because it was written at a different time. But there is a Lucy Gray theory where it is connected to the rest of the poems. And this theory basically paints Lucy Gray as mystical and a part of nature herself. Essentially, she is a girl born from nature, and then to nature she will then return. And this kind of follows in line with the character of Lucy Gray that we know her in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. She's part of the covey. She doesn't really have a set home. They're travelers. They essentially came from the nature. And it's interesting to think that when she's alive, she's not rooted down to anything. And it's only in her disappearance and her potential death that she is then rooted down again to those woods. And Snow will always remember her in those woods. And that's a much more allegorical look onto Lucy Gray as a character. But I think it really ties in well to the mysticism and etherealness of her. What do I think? I think that Lucy Gray was part of a covey, part of a family that needed each other to beat. Very similar to the way a human body works. Each organ works together to pump life into a person. And I think that Lucy Gray thrived best and lived best when she was connected to the other organs. Essentially, when she was with the covey. Because even when she went into the Hunger Games, she was quite lost and quite scared and didn't really know what to do. She spent the majority of the games hiding rather than fighting, and Snow really helped her get to that winning position. When we go to District 12, we see Lucy Gray as she is meant to be seen. She is full of life and she's flamboyant and she's singing on stage with her covey. So Lucy Gray's natural state is when she's with them. So I think that when she disconnected herself from them and went off with Snow alone, I think that she was inevitably going to end. And this is a very depressing end, but I do not believe that Lucy Gray actually survived. I don't think she went back to District 12 and became Greasy Say. I don't think she became Katniss's grandmother. I definitely don't think she went on to become President Coin. And this is not to shame anyone who has those theories, because they are valid theories, because we don't know exactly what happened. But personally, I think it's a slight disservice to her character to view her as anything other than lost in the woods. But again, we don't know what happens. Everyone's entitled to their own theories. This is just what I personally believe. And I think that the moment she separated from the rest of the organs, the rest of her covey, she was gone.